This generation just doesn't want to work. But you have to ask yourself, is it their fault? Jobs today are way different. Back then, people worked in stores or on farms. Now it's just computers, apps, and side hustles. Maybe this generation just wants to have a different kind of work. You ever think about that? We are more technology driven today than we were back then. You used to go to the mall. The malls used to be packed with people. There were actually crowds. There were workers farming. When you go by farms, you would see people riding the tractors. They were spreading manure. They were feeding the cows, the horses, whatever. They were cutting the grass. They were walking around the perimeter picking up trash. Now you don't see that at all. Do you see that at all anywhere? You don't. It almost looks like a deserted planet, like a deserted Earth, unfortunately. And to go along with that, prices are so high now. Things cost way more for rent, gas, food. It's harder for young people to get ahead. Even if they work, it's so hard to keep up with the cost of living in 2025. It was, I think, after 2019. I think after 2019, after prices got so high, I just have a feeling that the generation just decided just to give up. Now, how they are living, I have no idea. I don't know if they're living at home with their parents. I don't know if they have some type of disability, if they're collecting any type of welfare. I have no idea. Not there's anything wrong with that. You do what you got to do to survive, but I just feel like that this generation just doesn't want to work. They'll just be like, I don't want to do that, so I'm not doing it. And that's just the attitude that we experience in today's world. It's very unfortunate, but that's just what I'm noticing. Let me know in the comments what you notice with this generation, that if they want to work or not. I have a feeling, my personal opinion, they do not. They just don't want to work. I mean, you got people calling off work, restaurants are packed, they're slammed because people just don't want to show up for work. You order food, you're waiting an hour. You used to be able to get food and it would come right out. Same thing with fast food. When you go through the drive-through, you order like a Happy Meal or something like that. They tell you to pull in bay number 2 and you have to wait like 10 or 15 minutes and then you get your food, because chances are you've got like a dozen people in line, you have a dozen people in the drive-through, and you have like 2 people working, one running the register and one actually cooking the food. So burnout is real. Some people feel tired all the time. Even if they're young, people feel tired now. You ever notice that today's generation just gets tired fast? They just want to sleep. They want to sleep in. Not There's nothing wrong with sleeping in. Trust me, when I was a teenager, I slept in. But now you got people in their 20s and 30s and 40s that just want to sleep in. They don't want to do nothing but sleep. I mean, maybe it's not their fault that this is happening to them. Maybe it's not their fault that our generation just doesn't want to do anything, but maybe they are already worn out. They're just worn out from today's society. They're worn out, for what's going on in this world, right? They're just worn out by everything, showing up for work. Imagine that, showing up for work and getting a paycheck every 2 weeks. We are getting worn out by just doing that. And I think it's just crazy. It's sad in its own way. It's really sad, and I don't even know what to think anymore. I just feel like that nobody wants to do anything unless it's going to benefit them. Again, let me know in the comments how you feel. I will catch you in the next one.